The foreign trade balance is the difference between the value of export and that of import between the two countries. It may relate to a product or to the total of the exchanges of products, goods, and services. Well, of course, that's one of the things that we'll look out for on the show today. But let's quickly go straight now as we look at the market at the close of Tuesday and see what the market is saying. The NGX closed on a flat note amid sell-off and buying interest at the benchmark all-share index appreciated by 3 basis points at the close of Tuesday. The NGX all-share index closed at 47,246.9 points to reflect a growth of 0.03% from the previous trading day, and the year-to-date has returned to about 10.61%. Meanwhile, the market capitalization increased by 7 billion naira at the close of Tuesday. But if you look at the trading summary for February 22, you will see the movement that all-share index has moved up by 0.03% in about 5,992 deals. And then, of course, you have the volume moving up by 0.09%. The value also has moved up by 22.14% at the close of Tuesday. Market cap, like I said earlier, moved up by 0.03%. But if you look at the top 5 gainers for the day, you have the likes of Nigeria Insurance, rather. You have Len Africa, you have Square and Coaches and May and Baker in that category. Take a look at the top 5 decliners. You will see that the Veristes Cap, Courtville, Guinness, Name It, and Ella Lakes are in the top 5 decliners there. The sector movement, NSE has remained continuously or consistently in the red for the past how many trading sessions now. NSE banking up by 0.36%. You have insurance, you have NSE industries, NSE oil, and NSE Asian board there. But let's quickly look at the market, other equity portfolio in terms of how many participation, or in terms of percentage of participation of foreign investors in the equity market for the year 2021. If you take a look at the equities market in terms of foreign investors participation in the equities market for January, February to December last year, there's been a bit of volatility. If you see, perhaps we'll be able to have that slide for you on your screen to show you the movement between January last year to December last year. As in February, that the change or the participation declined by about 32.1%, and when you look at December, it has declined for about 100%. Of course, when you talk about foreign a portfolio participation in the equities market, some analysts will tell you is very, very key to the growth of the capital market in Nigeria. But let's get the conversation started from the performance of the equities market yesterday, as we bring in our regular analyst on the show, Mr. Ambrose Omodion. He is Chief Research Officer, Investitech Consulting Limited. He joins us now. Mr. Ambrose, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time. But let's start from yesterday. Len Africa led about 31 gainers and against 18 losers yesterday. So what will be your reaction for the past how many days now? We've seen consistent movement, upward movement of the market, positive performance of the markets as investors are smiling to the bank. Please, what do you make of this trend we are seeing in the market?
Actually, for the last 30 trading days, market has been in the green. But I'll tell you, the green is not so pronounced, just marginal green. For that the market expecting a trigger, which I said earlier, in the last program. Yes, the figures are coming in lieu of crude oil price change like $7.something as of yesterday. At the same time, anything in the market are positive, especially the last dividend announcement that was made by CAF and JAPU. On that note, market is looking for more as company to release the one of the said accounts for the year ended 2021. If this number come and they put the direction of SUCAP and Nigeria or MTN, that means that investors will
Just before we get into portfolio, looking at as we analyze or do an assessment of foreign portfolio investment in the equities market, but let's talk a bit more about the performance of the market. For this is the third trading day of the week, where you have already always said that we shouldn't be talking about the direction of the market now, but of course the volatility because of the earnings season and profit taking as well. But then some other people want to see, well, we also need to talk about market direction at the same time with the volatility. So how would you respond to that vis-a-vis the performance or the direction of the market for the week?
Actually, week to date, we are seeing the market are having a positive sentiment. Apart from yesterday, that we saw more sellers in the market, because yesterday the selling position was about 78 position, while the buyers are around 7.8%. And because of the tells you that people are taking more profit in the market, because so what happens, what happened in the UCAP and the ACAP potential yesterday, tells you that really our investors are interested in taking profit. These two stocks open a gap up as market opened that morning yesterday. They got as high as 114 naira, the other one 18 naira, 8 naira, the second one. But they pull back at the end of the day because people take advantage of that gap up to sell up to that position, and again, I think that people are taking profit. But the good thing is that all big names are yet to release their debt account and their corporate action. I believe when the time in the market to change the face of the market, that means this up and down we're seeing, this will continue. But it's better to not panic at all, because the market have not really shown a change in trend. When you see the market change in trend, you cannot be panicking. But for now, the market keep trading above the shortest thing looking average. For me, it's very, very key and for the investors to hear.
Nigeria Share Index has gained more than 10% since the start of the year. On the back of new leasing, we've seen new leasing, and we've also seen the banking sector performing very well. Some of the sectors are doing excellently well. And then you also have some small cap stocks who are also pushing the index higher. So what are the fundamental factors driving investor sentiment in this direction? Because we've seen buying interest in the small caps stocks in the last few trading sessions.
Actually, when we are seeing any season, and any season in our own market is that this season is peculiar. Why is it peculiar? We have many companies on the exchange that have December at year end. Because December at year end, at the end of December, that is the end of the financial year, ended 2021. And according to the exchange rules, you have 30 days to release your unaudited account for which they did in March, in January, sorry. Then that also they want to release their unaudited account. Because they did release in January, have this month of February, end of February, or first day of March to release their audited account with the corporate action in this activity. Why do that if their first release their unaudited account first quarter in January has the 31st of March to release their result? In this case, says that if investment trade are taking line in the market, says that people are targeting what dividends, because most dividends they ask people at the end, and this time they kind of compare the word investor for their trust or their faith in the company. And don't forget that we have only just few companies that pay interim dividends. That means most of them that have the year and pay at the end of the financial year, and it's because that expecting their full year result. For me, that is why the every investigation is against the fundamentals from the company that call them financial news or the news that will also put the prices up or low, depending on the company performance. I think that is what drives the market up and down.
Now, let's turn our attention to foreign portfolio participation in equities trading in 2021, as report shows that investors' interest has dropped in 2021. And this perhaps, they said, is seen in the drop in capital importation in 2021. When you saw the capital importation, it dropped substantially. So some have attributed this as well to the upward trend in inflation, which averaged around 15 or 16% last year. So how cautious should investor be or take position with their funds at this time?
So I didn't hear you. What is the percentage of the foreign investors in the Nigeria market? I wanted to do that report. Let me know the percentage of foreign investors in the market and at the same time in the Nigerian investor. The figure I have to now is that the Nigerian market will have less than 55% of foreign portfolio in Nigeria, while about 75% is by local investors, especially our PFPs, institutional investors in Nigeria. That means that the people are torn. Before in Nigeria, we depend purely on foreign investors to drive our market. Now we are not driving our market ourselves. Now that also we are also high rate in advanced market, where they have to call their funds from emerging market so that they can take advantage of their own free what we call free instrument that the risk is very low. But because they are not playing much in the market, I don't think they are exiting the market now and putting the market seriously. Yes, you might see the impact, but not as much, because compared to when they are having 50%, 60% of the market, when they are doing the market completely. But now that the local investors have about 5% of the market, the exit of the foreign investors because of invest in their market, their economy or consolidated market won't affect the market much. But it's good that we have foreign participation in our market. But I'm also telling you that in another way, if food oil price continues to rise, and this continues also impact our bottom line as a nation, and this FX issue is resolved, also they might see opportunity in the market people to open their money, because if the rate is very high, it's going to also affect their market there too. Because when the rate is high, they'll also be giving equity market in US to other investment with they not so likely compete to waiting. But our market not over dependent on foreign investor now. For me, it's a very good thing for the market, because anywhere in the world, we don't allow foreign portfolio that come in and go because of any make of the go.
Now, yes.
If you are having direct investment for what people want to pay their payment for Nigerians and other stuff, for this personal investment, they are just to make money around. That means any news, anything that happens in Nigeria, once they are selling down, the market will pay them. For me, no, illegal, but not as much. Yeah.
Because why I brought that question, because we saw the figure, because the data release shows that from about 47.5 billion naira in January 2021, we saw that it has declined by about 55.1% by July of last year, dropping to 15.5 billion naira in terms of a portfolio that we witnessed in the market last year. That's why I asked that question. But let's proceed further. Can you hear me? Now, let's proceed further. Now, with the threat of capital depletion, so investors are forced to consider climbs with more excellent price stability, especially with the management of forex in Nigeria by the CBN, mainly the choice of maintaining multiple exchange rates, which has been identified as a significant factor responsible for falling capital importation. So how soon can we begin to see a reversal of this?
Yes, CBN already takes a step. Once we want to unify our exchange rates in Nigeria, as I said, it's two things. Once that is done, these foreign investors are likely to come back when they are sitting down. But I don't see them in Nigeria more, because our market has potential. Now that our economic agents are looking at our energy, they might not